Mr. Investor, welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. Thank you very much for supporting me. We've nearly touched 400 subscribers now. As you guys may know, my name is Miguel. I'm a retail investor here in London, and I invest in, high risk growth stocks. So I'm not investing in penny stocks. I want to invest in growth stocks. I want to 10x or 20x my money over time. And I want to look for the most innovative companies around the world, which can help me achieve this. Today we're going to be looking at Nanodimensions. I've been watching this stock for quite a while now. I've been watching it since, early this year when the pandemic hit, and I saw ARK Invest start to buy heavily into this stock, but I never quite pulled the trigger on it. And when I was looking at the history of the stock, I was like, wow, these people used to be over $100 per share, man. They used to be popping, man. They got bare moolah. And then you see that they've dropped all the way down here into penny stock under $1 territory. And I was like, damn, man, this company's going bust. Something's happening. And I thought, why is ARK Invest and some of these big institutions buying boatloads of this stock? What do they know that we don't know? And how come it's starting to get traction, this stock? Because I looked back at it and I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. We're already at $4. And then I waited and I was like, nah, it's going to come down again, $2 range. Boom. We're now at $7. So some of you guys may know this already. You may hear about Nanodimensions and know they're a 3D printing company. And what they focus on is they want to 3D print electronics. So they want to innovate and basically look at all these innovative companies and industries that need 3D printed electronics. And they want to provide them with some of their products, which can help them manufacture these at a low cost rate and faster, and also in a smaller space. So they do 3D printing by using AME, which is additively manufacturing electronics. And the meaning of AME is basically to use data, computer-aided design or software, 3D object scanners, and basically deposit material layer by layer in precise geometric shapes. So as the name implies, they're saying that they're adding basically material bit by bit in order to create an object. But they're doing the whole object. They're printing the whole object in this small space. They're focusing here on creating these intelligent machines that are going to produce electronic circuit boards and all these high performance electronic devices. So this is their main squeeze. This is their moolah maker here, baby. They got the 3D printing system called the Dragonfly, baby. And what does this Dragonfly do? They're basically focusing on producing these high performance electronic devices. All of these components are used in several industries across the world, and all of these industries are booming. Some of them are going to be innovating for generations to come. Like we're talking about, space travel and stuff like that. We're going to need all of these electronic devices. And one of the main squeezes is they're saying that they can help produce these electronic devices really fast. So in terms of prototyping, the traditional way that you would create some of these is you make all the separate components and then you have to put them together. But these guys 3D print all of it together in one process, really fast in one machine. And in doing so, your prototype can be developed in just a few hours compared to your competitors who are going to take weeks. So that's going to boost you and put you ahead of the game in order to produce, manufacture, and sell to your clients and customers. We're looking at tens of layers that they can produce and stack it all in a 3mm board, these circuit boards. Now, when we look at these guys, you can see that they're able to produce basically a whole digital factory. This is what it traditionally looks like, when you 3D print it. Traditionally, you create all the separate components, put it together, and you'd need a factory like that over there. Over there, baby, you need all of those machines in order to process and create your product. Whereas you can replace the whole bloody warehouse in this little box over here. That is insane, baby. And just some highlights here to see why Nanodimensions pretty good is because it has so many patents. They're using this AME system and they're an industry leader with it. They're the first to the market. They're the only technology that converts digitally electronic circuits into functional high performance devices. They've already sold approximately 60 systems worldwide, and some of these companies that they're selling to are billion-dollar companies. They've got increasing revenue as well from selling their 3D printing inks. So you know how we buy a printer? Sometimes like you buy a printer and you're like, oh God, man, the ink is more expensive than the printer over the lifetime, You might buy the printer for, I don't know, £100 or a few £100. And all of a sudden you've realized that you've spent over your lifetime over £1,000 on just the printing ink. so you can do your little assignment on Microsoft Word. And also in terms of looking at their financials, they say that they've got a lot of cash in hand, so they've got a strong cash position. Here they've got 430 million as of December 12th. So when we're looking at some of the industries they're selling to, I want to show you this right here. These industries are innovative and they're going to continue to grow and blow across the future. You know, when we're looking at these industries, are we ever going to see research go away? We're always, as humanity, we're trying to research and go forward and develop. So research is key. In terms of aerospace, we see SpaceX, we see Virgin Galactic. We want to conquer space. We want space tourism. Not only that, we want to colonize other planets. That's the way that humanity is going, you know. Maybe in a few hundred years, me and you will be chilling. I don't know, maybe we'll be reborn, or they'll put us in a cryotherapy chamber or something, and we'll wake up, me and you, hundreds of years old, and we'll be on Mars. Also, in terms of defense, you can see here that always there's billions spent on military and defense, and they need electronics and chips for all of their defense and military operations. Medical, 3D printing. I remember seeing 3D printing go through, and they can produce lots of like prosthetic limbs, and now they can produce components and pieces for the body and equipment that you may need for some of these medical devices and gadgets. And in terms of the automotive industry, oh baby, if I take a look at this industry itself, you can see that over the next few years, it's going to be exploding onto the scene, baby. We're going to be seeing autonomous vehicles, you know, electrified vehicles, autonomous vehicles. We're going to see these manufacturers are all competing to see who can sell their EV vehicles the fastest. And in order to produce these at a mass scale, they're going to need to get some of these 3D printers in and actually produce the electronics in-house to make it really fast and effective. So they're helping these EV manufacturers build reliable solutions to build their competitive products. And they're trying to make this cost effective as possible. So the EV industry itself, we can see that their Dragonfly system is designed to be the ideal technology to accelerate in-house electronic development and increase the design freedom to help develop innovative products quickly and cost effectively, baby. So if we actually get into ARK Invest as well, you can see these guys have loaded up on this stock. Nanodimension now is number 22 in their portfolio. They've put over 30 million into this stock and they've got over 4 million shares. I remember seeing the way they edged into it, ARK Invest, and it was right at the bottom. They only put like a few 100,000 in. They've got like a few thousand shares, and they've built this up to be like a prolific mid-table investment in their ETF. We're going to see this technology needed in the future. They've already sold quite a few systems, and I think they're going to start to sell to many manufacturers across the world. And their machine is called the Dragonfly, and it's controlled by AI systems and they can produce these electronic devices quickly and simultaneously. So as you can see here, this is their main squeeze. This is the Dragonfly, and it's lightweight, it's compact for space. You can produce really fast, and they've got loads of patents on it. So one of the main problems that they've faced this year in terms of sales is they haven't been able to make sales. The reason being is because COVID came into the room, baby. It's the big elephant, baby. So when COVID came in, you can see that everybody in the US, boom, out of office. Chinese companies, they returned, but they were delaying all their purchases. They didn't make the purchases, didn't fulfill their orders. European businesses, as we can see here in Europe, we're going into more lockdowns as we speak. So we're going to be delayed. And their assumption is we're going to be delayed, and the revenue stream is going to be delayed until the third quarter of 2021. They also lots of the people that they wanted to sell to, most customers are in discussions, but they weren't allowed supplier visits because of COVID protocols and everything that was going on with coronavirus. In terms of the customers that they already sold to, you can see that some of the Nanodimension customers are defense manufacturers from all across the world. And these are multi-billion defense manufacturers. You've got like 3 multi-billion US ones, 2 European defense manufacturers, lots of secret services. And yeah, you can see here across the world map, you've got them in America, Europe, and here in China, even Australia, Sydney, baby. So I'm quite bullish on this company. I think the stock price right now is actually showing, people are saying it's showing a bearish sentiment. But when I checked it up here, I can see that on the 18th of December, the short ratio was only 16%. On the 10th of December previously, it was like 34%. So you can see that a lot of people were now beating some of the bears, and there's a lot of trade volume as well. 32 million shares are exchanging hands on a daily basis, baby. So some of the only problems we've been seeing is they keep diluting their shares, and it's frustrating the investors because the shares are just getting diluted and diluted. So here you can see the Nanodimension closes a 60 million registered direct offering, and $60 million basically there, boom, dilution. 100 million here, direct offering, dilution. 180 million shares here, dilution, baby. So across the board, they were diluting loads of their shares. And this is really frustrating for investors. So lots of investors were exiting, saying that they're fed up, that they keep raising capital. But companies need to do this, at times. But if they keep doing it, they're going to frustrate their investors, and people will pull the money out eventually if they keep getting diluted and seeing the share price get crashed. Nanodimensions states that they're a market leader and they're leading the AME revolution. So here they're stating that the marketplaces that they are currently in are going to be seeing a 24% compounded annual growth rate. So this is the additive manufacturing market for metal and polymers, and also for the manufacturing of electronics. So based off the research that they've chucked in here, you can see the global flexible circuit industry itself was recorded to have a revenue of 12.9 billion in 2019, and they're expecting that to grow an 11.2% compounded annual growth rate all the way through to 2025. They're stating that these companies like IDTechX, Data Intelligence, and Transparency Market Research have all stated that these marketplaces that they're in terms of 3D printed electronics, they're going to compound and grow at like rapid rates. So there's going to be high demand for lighter, smaller devices with greater functionality, and they can provide this. So where do I think this stock is going to go? By the way that some of the institutions are loading up on it, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. I think this stock will be touching some crazy figures. If they used to be $100 a share, depending on how many sales they can get over 2021, I don't think it's going to move that much, because they need to secure those customers and get money in from those customers. But all of those customers and businesses have lost money. And will they be willing to invest in innovation and their technology? If the technology makes money and makes sense, then probably. But I think a long time down the line, we're going to see these guys maybe potentially hit up to $60, maybe $70. They might even 10x from this point in 5 years' time, so long as the industries need it. And I think they're in high demand, especially in the EV fields, in this kind of immediate time zone. They're going to need to produce this at mass scale, and they're going to need to produce it very fast. Also, in terms of space and engineering, that's always going to be developing throughout time. And I believe this company is one to watch for the future. I'm not going to put any position into it now. I'm going to wait for a little drawback. I might try and buy it at $6 again or $5. But knowing that people can see where this company is going, I think it's a really innovative company. I'm glad that they got the patents in place for their intellectual property, and they may skyrocket. Mr. Investor Lot over and out. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions, please slap them in the comments. Thank you for subscribing to my channel as well and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. And we're growing as a channel. I've nearly hit 400 subscribers now. So this is like a little timestamp for me. And I'm really excited to grow with you guys. So if you have any suggestions in the comments on how I can improve my videos, or stocks you want me to look at, just hit me up. Thank you very much for watching. Mr. Investor Lot over and out, baby.